Campbell and Mark Brown, who finished 11th at the Irish Open, are our flag bearers on the biggest stage of all, the star-studded European Tour. The pair continue their quest to reach the heights of old. The Irish Open showing how each week on tour is both a dream come true, but a hard slog.
I think it's something you'd miss if you didn't have it. But at the same time, when you're away playing and away from home for 9 months each year, it gets difficult. I guess it's just important to keep the perspective of how lucky you are to be out here and stick at it. But there's times, particularly when you're struggling, where it's tough.
It's one of those things you've got to sacrifice is the comforts of home. I've been out now for 5 weeks. I fly back and forth from Sydney to London about 5 times a year in the front of the bus, not the back of the bus. That makes a big difference.
Travel's not too bad once we get over here to Europe. We're only looking at sort of 2-hour flights each week, so it's not bad. But certainly at the start and end of each year, it's tough. If you're playing well, it's probably the greatest lifestyle you could have. But when things are tough and you're away from home missing people, it gets a bit lonely and a bit difficult.
And what about your relationship with the other Kiwis on tour, Michael and Danny Lee?
Yeah, we try as hard as we can. Obviously, we don't see Danny much. He's mainly in the States. Me and Michael see each other a little bit, but it's also, quite. We'd have to probably have the smallest representation of any country, only 2 players. So, there's certainly not the, the support and the friendships that a lot of the other countries have.
The harsh reality of Campbell and Brown's existence sees them take travel dramas and homesickness in their stride as they toil away to retain their European Tour cards. For Campbell, it's been 6 years since the pinnacle of his golfing career. Although his opening round in Ireland suggests that there's hope he'll climb out of his much publicised slump.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm shooting really good scores, a couple of 67, 68s and 69s and stuff like that, but not putting 4 rounds together. It's pretty frustrating. Even, I had 1 good round and 1 bad round sort of thing. So it's, I played great at the end of the year in Australia and played quite nicely in February, March. And then it's a matter of just chipping away, mate, just working harder and hopefully it will turn around.
Brown is 3 years removed from winning the Johnny Walker Classic, and he had to earn his tour card for this season with 16 paydays in 2010.
Last year I was pretty pleased just to keep my card because it was a tough year. I didn't play particularly well, and it was the first year where I had to make enough money to stay exempt, and I did that. But this year has been a real rough start to the season. Just lacking a lot of direction what I'm doing with my game, and as a result got a bit lazy and haven't stuck to a task very well. So it's time to start changing that.
Life as a European Tour member isn't cheap. On top of the duo's airfares, hotel costs and caddy fees, they also rely heavily on coaches. And it's in this area the 2 Kiwis are at different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I've been seeing Gary Edward now. He's from the Gold Coast. He's been around for a long time, and I've been seeing him now for about 6 months. And I just needed a change. I had a wonderful relationship with Jonathan Yarwood. 10 years has been a long time as a player-coach relationship, but I decided to move on, and there's no animosity there between us. We're still very, very good friends. He understands the situation, and it's nice to get a different opinion, and hopefully it'll work out.
If I look back on the last couple of years, the biggest mistake was probably splitting up with Mel Tongue back in New Zealand. And ever since then, I haven't really found anyone that knows my swing well enough or to give me the direction to get things better. So that was a massive, probably a mistake. So at the moment, I've just been trying to do a lot of it myself, and it's very easy to get lost. And when you don't have a clear direction, you perhaps don't work as hard as you should.
Maintaining their European Tour status is harder than ever for the pair, given the leap in quality of the European fields.
It's incredible. I think it's shifted, I think 10 years ago it was all about the American players. If you look at the top 10, there was only like 1 or 2 Europeans, but now it's the opposite. It's only like 1 or 2 in the top 10. If that, it just goes to show the strength of the European Tour right now. Most of the guys come over and play here and play both, not just play one tour. They play the European Tour and the USPGA Tour, so they spread themselves around. Perfect example was Charles Schwartzel played in the Malaysian Open, so did Rory straight after. So these guys are not scared to jump on the plane and travel 15 hours on the Monday and get to the next destination and play different parts of the world. I think it's very important to do that, to actually expose yourself around the world like Rory and Charles has. I remember playing with Rory about a year ago, and I thought this kid's got the full package, and it didn't surprise me the way he went on to winning the US Open. Only good players win that.
And as the 2 Wellingtonians strive to maintain their jet-set lifestyle, they haven't forgotten their Kiwi roots. You're following what's happening and sport-wise as well as...
absolutely. I'm a Kiwi, mate. Come on, I always follow my rugby. I'm always over here. It's good because it's about 8 o'clock in the morning when it's televised. So I watch it on Fridays and Saturdays when I can, and obviously I'm following the form of the boys back home. You see how they go for the World Cup this year. I'm dying to go back and watch a few games.
Obviously I'm a rugby man, so I keep tabs on all the rugby and managed to get to a couple of All Blacks tests last year as well, away from home, so that was good. And pretty tough following the Hurricanes, so I try and avoid that as much as possible this year. But, you know, obviously, as a keen sports supporter, then I definitely keep an eye on all of that.
Do you ever think back to those early days when you were struggling and battling away in life?
Yeah, I mean, I think about that all the time. And, you know, when you asked the question before about how hard this lifestyle it is, yeah, it is difficult, but we're incredibly lucky and I'm pretty blessed to be able to do it. So, you know, for the next few months, it's going to be a matter of pulling finger and start to play better because, you know, the way I'm playing at the moment, I'm in real danger of not having this next year. So from this point on, it's got to get a lot better.
BMW New Zealand Open later in the year. Are we likely to see you at it?
Well, I hope so. But once again, my schedule is still up in the air. I'm not sure what I'm doing at the end of the year right now. It clashes with the European Tour event. So I can't promise you right now if I'm playing or not. I want to play. I want to support, obviously, New Zealand Open, but also want to support Canterbury. What they've been through the last 6 months has been horrible, but it all depends how I go for the rest of the year.